Alright, so a few years ago, I watched this documentary called Breaking 2. So they take these 3 guys who are elite athletes, just like the best runners ever, and their goal is to break 2, which means just running a marathon under 2 hours, which is something that had never been done before by anybody. So I bet you're wondering, how does this relate to a guy like me? Well, I signed up for a race myself, and I decided I'm gonna break 2. Yeah, so the race that I'm doing is a half marathon. It's not a full marathon. There's no way I could break 2 for a full marathon. A little bit of history on me. I've actually run a couple half marathons before this. I've run 3 of them previously. And before you click away thinking, oh, this guy lied, he said he wasn't a runner, but he's already run 3 half marathons. No, I will stress this. I am not a runner. Never was it about the time that I was actually going to accomplish by the end of it. Most of the time it was just getting across the finish line. So this will be the first time in my life that I'm running a half marathon with a goal and a pace in mind. For example, the last half marathon that I ran, out of all of the men that ran the half marathon, the average time was 2 hours and 22 minutes. And the average time for the women was 2 hours and 42 minutes. My time, 2 hours and 37 minutes. My numbers were not impressive. It's nothing to write home about. So that's the rub. I got to figure out how to get 3 minutes off of every single mile for 13 miles in order to break 2. Plus, I only have 2 months to do it, which is kind of my own fault. Thankfully, I'm not doing this race on my own. Unthankfully, everyone that I'm running with is faster than me, is more athletic than me, and works out more than me, which isn't really hard because I work out probably once a year. Alright, so while I'm talking about them, I might as well introduce a couple of the people you'll be seeing with me on this journey. First and foremost, we got Casey, who agreed to do the half marathon because he has a bet with Jerry, another guy running it, that whoever wins the race will have to buy the other one a smoothie from Smoothie King. One of my favorite things that I say about Casey is that he, at one point, was the second fastest man in Kansas. He hates when I say it, but it's actually a true fact. He did track and field in high school, and he was wicked fast. Second, we got Jerry, the guy I mentioned before. He is a crazy athlete, super fast, super skinny, but he's never really done distance training, so it's been really fun to see him try and figure out how he's gonna run the half marathon and go 13 miles. Next up, we got Annie. She's done countless marathons, it seems like at this point. Could run forever. Yeah, there's not really much more to say about her. Next up, we got Kelly, who just did a half marathon a couple months ago. Absolutely toasted my previous time without doing any training at all. She did throw up at the end, which is a little brutal, but she still beat my time. We've also got the wild card of Kenan. He may or may not be making an appearance in videos, making an appearance on races, and may or may not be running the half marathon. He is very undecided at this point. I'm excited to figure out if he's going to do it or not. Never been a runner, very much more in my shoes, so I appreciate him whenever he shows up to a run. Lastly, let me introduce you to the most important person on the team for me. That is Meg, my wife. She is my anchor throughout this whole thing. And normally she would run this with me or do casual runs with me throughout the week, but she's currently pregnant with our first child, and so she is going to be sitting this one out. But she's my #1 supporter and cheerleader, so I'm very thankful to have her. She'll be my rock throughout the entire course of this race. My main goal for doing this, though, is to encourage you to do something that you've never done before, something that seems unattainable, because this seems pretty unattainable to me right now. And I want you to hopefully, by the end of this, feel encouraged to do something similar, whether that be a half marathon or something simple that you feel like you can never do before and it becomes a daily habit for you, whatever it may be. That's my goal, is just to encourage you towards that. All right, let's get going. Let's do this. Just got to 2 miles and I'm winded. My back is hurting. I do not feel great. But I think I need to keep running, unfortunately. So here we go. Whew. tired. Oh man. One moment, please. Okay. I ended up having to walk probably a quarter of a mile, and yeah, that was rough. That was hard. My back was like completely locking up on me. I might have said that during the run. I've never experienced that before. So here's the thing. I am nowhere near where I need to be for the half marathon. I probably already explained this, but the half marathon is in exactly 2 months, like 2 months from today. And I have trained for like 3 weeks before this, starting in January, and then a complete like ice storm hit Tulsa and just like wiped everything out.
News on 6's Emery Bryan is live this afternoon. Emery?
Well, Tatum, it's quite uncomfortable out here. The snow right now is coming down pretty heavy.
I was stuck inside for most of it. I was very sedentary. So today was my first run back. And yeah, I felt every bit of that. I felt like it was my first run back. But I got the 2 miles. That was the thing. I was pushing myself just to get the 2. And then I was like, I'm gonna reward myself with a walk once I get to it. I was listening to Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift, and it pushed me all the way to the 2 mile mark, and then I stopped. And the people I was running with, they were encouraging me, keep going, Brandon, keep going, you got it. No, there was no shot. There was no way I was getting anywhere. Very tired right now. My back is feeling good now, which is great. I was worried that it was gonna stay like locked up and in pain. We're great, we're doing great. But I say all that to say, I think something's gonna have to change. Like, I'm gonna have to change my diet. I'm gonna have to like run more than everybody else is because I feel very behind. Everyone else is kind of on the same level or better. And I feel like I am definitely further back. So doing this is like very difficult for me because I don't have like any sort of extra knowledge other than my own experience, which my own experience is very limited. I want to figure out what would it be like for the average person, you know, like an everyday man, not somebody that's like sponsored by Brooks or Hoka or whatever brand they're running for. I want to just be like the average Joe, the person that's like, I got my Nike, I got my sneakers, and I'm gonna go out and run, and I'm gonna push myself to try and see if I can physically do this. It's gonna be a hard 2 months, I will say that, but I'm gonna try and push to do it. I've never done anything like this, so I'm excited to see what happens. And if I don't break 2, then so be it, but I'm gonna give it my all and try as best as I can. So, let's see. That's one. I'm very tired already. Let's get it. That's 2. Three. I'm done. Oh man. Thankfully my back does not hurt at all today. But my side, some major stitch in it. I was fighting hard just to get to 3, but thankful that I never stopped. I thought I was gonna have to because it was really painful, but we did it. Oh, man. All right. It's better. For those wondering what my pace is supposed to be, I guess I should probably preface that. the pace I'm going for is like a 9:07, 9:09 per mile. That will get me to sub 2 in 13.1 miles. So I'm trying to hit that mark. Right now, I don't feel like I have the tempo and rhythm for that. And usually whenever I would run, I'd have like this pace that's just kind of like an inner clock where I just know how fast I'm running. I don't think I have the pacing for it yet though. My natural pace for the past like couple of years, every time I've gone for a run, is like 10:30, 11 minutes. It's very, very slow. This morning, whenever I started, I was going at that pace, and I looked down at my watch and saw that, and I was like, oh, I have to pick it up and push. So these are my times. I'm gonna put my times for today right here, and as comparison, these were my times like a year ago or 2 years ago whenever I was running 3 miles just by myself. So you can see that I'm trying to push beyond what I normally would have. On that last mile, I was in a lot of pain, and so I definitely slowed down and did not finish strong. But I pushed through it, so can count that as a victory. I woke up at like 5:30 this morning, which again, I'm not really a morning person either, so funny, things are just already changing. But I woke up at 5:30 and I was like wide awake. I couldn't fall back asleep, and so I just decided I'd get up and might as well get my run in. Got to see the sunrise, which was really beautiful. It was really pretty today in Tulsa, and so got to enjoy that. It was very cold, surprisingly. It's like 40 degrees right now, and I did not take that into account. I am pretty cold right now, but my body definitely warmed up in the meantime, so we're all good. But yeah, that's day 3. Didn't run yesterday, day 2. That's day 3 completed. And now it's time to go spend some time with my family and get to see some people from out of town. I'm excited. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. If you could do me the favor of subscribing to follow my journey to breaking 2, I would love that. Leave any comments down below if you have any tips for me, just small things that I can do better, running form, what I can eat, what I can drink, what else helps me recover, whatever kind of stuff like that. Leave them in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a good day, whatever day of the week it is. Bye.